Okay, got the Grandmaster level Tarantula Predator in the mail. So let's get this thing opened up. Nicely packed in this styrofoam to keep it safe on the trip. I can see the driver and the driver cords, some of the hangers peeking through. It's 2 levels. The bottom one's got the good stuff. This is the lights, the UVC lights. All right, what I like about the launch models, the prototypes didn't have this, but look at this green. Oh, I'm in love. That's my favorite color. I love that green coating. Looking good. Just to go over what we got inside. Here's your driver, and on one side is where you would hook. Right here is where you're gonna hook your power cable. So that's gonna hook into there on one end, and on coming out of the other end, you have your connections that will hook to each Predator bar. See that? Will hook to the same connections. This is the daisy chain basically. So if you had another Predator, instead of hooking the power cord to it, you could hook this end, which is capped off right now, but you could hook this end to the next Predator driver box, and so on all the way down the line. Other than that, you're going to have your little connections like this that your wire will go into. So I always remember you put the wire into the parts that are sticking out. So a wire would go in through the top here, another wire would come in through this side, go that way. I'll show that when I hang them up. We got 4 of those. You should have 2 of the hanging wires, braided steel wires, and then 4 of the I don't know what you would call this, the genius hanging thing. So the wire will go through there, and then this will swing out like this and clip onto the bottom side of the lights. You see these clips here, and I'll show that next when I hang this sucker up. But that's what you should have in there. Oh, you also got some zip ties in here for cable management. Anyhow, we'll jump ahead here and get these things hung up and show you how we do it in the tent. All right, let's start getting this thing hung up. So you take one of these and then the wire hanger, and you feed it through. You always feed it through the side that's sticking out. And then push it through a little bit and make yourself a loop. And that loop is going to go around your pole. So this could be a tent pole. This could be your poles on a standard 4x8 table or a commercial facility, and you got your poles usually every 4 to 5 feet. You see that? You just make a loop and you feed it back through the part that's sticking out. There you go. Now you can pull it tight at whatever level you want it. When you want to release it, you push in like that, and you can move it again. So you can actually, I think if I pull it, yeah, if I pull on this, it'll cinch it tight. So let's just put for here for looks. But now we're cinched tight on there, and we're ready for the next step. And here's where I go away from the directions usually, is I like to, you can see that hole from these hangers, and I like to just feed my 2 hangers through the wire right now. You can do that and just thread it through now and you're good. Or what the directions say is to cinch up the other side so it's taut. And let me see if I can show you on this. Let me put it a little higher here. And it kind of just will, you can kind of just do one of these numbers and get them to go in like that if you'd like. You don't have to feed them through. Either way, whichever way you like to do it. Alright guys, so I got 1 bar installed already. And as you can see, I have, be mindful of the cord. So whichever side you put the cord on, do the same thing with the second bar. Put them on the same side, make your life easy. And wherever those cords are, if you know, whatever you're worried about cord management, make sure you put it, I like it in the back of the tent, but you can do it wherever you want. And so I'll show you what I'm doing with the second one. So this, basically, they just have clips on the back here, and those metal bars clip right into it that we've installed previously. So you flip them up, you center the light on them. It doesn't have to be perfect, because even after you've got them clipped in, which I'm doing now, is once you get them clipped in, they can still swivel they can swivel on that bar, and they can also be slid, you know, left to right on that bar. So if you're concerned with like, oh no, it's not exactly in the middle, you can still adjust it later. The one thing to be mindful of too, let me take this and get you a closer look here. One thing to be mindful of too is it has these cool little hangers on the side. Make sure those flip up and don't get in your way as you're clipping them in. That's all. But anyways, there you are, and you have it spaced out now, pretty much evenly, and that's going to cover the whole 4x4. And I like to hang these guys about 4 inches from the very lowest branches of my canopy and facing up. But you can turn these every day if you like to make a slightly different angle to treat your plants. And I'll finish up, I'll show you how to do the last little bit of this connection here. You're just going to connect both of these to the driver to the cord to the plug, and that's it. All right, so these are all the ends coming off of the driver box. This is for the power cord, so we don't need that. These two are the ones we're looking for. All right, it's got the two little, and so we just pull it off the ends, match it up. You see that notch right in the middle? Match up the notches, and you're good to go. So you put them in, slide that over, screw it together. It's as easy as that. We can get these both done pretty quick. We're good to go. Next, we just got a quick connect for the power cord, right? So, power cord, same thing. Just match them up. So let's do it. It's like that. Boom, good to go. All you got left to do is plug it in and you're good to go, guys. I'm not going to plug this in and turn it on camera because you do not want to be in the room when these are on. Do this during the dark cycle. 5 minutes for IPM, 15 minutes if you have a pest infestation. Otherwise, 5 minutes a day is all it takes. Won't take hardly any electricity. Looks sweet with the green, my favorite color. Growers love, guys. Keep on growing.